So, guys, you remember that last week we had a very interesting discussion, and the title of the video was Can South Africa Survive Without White People? And I must say that the comment sections of that video was actually quite interesting because there are people that actually made an argument to say that no, we can survive without white people. We don't need white people in this country. As black people, we can survive on our own. And there are people that said, no, it is absolutely impossible. South Africa cannot survive without white people, because if you have to look at other African states that actually got rid of white people, you can see what happened with those states. So the comment section was actually quite interesting. But again, I wanted to speak about something else. And this thing actually has to do with us as black people. And I don't like what is actually happening in the black community. I honestly don't like what is happening in the black community. I am not impressed with what is happening in the black community. And the reason why I am not impressed with what is happening in the black community, it's almost as if we have given up as black people. We have given up on our communities. Because last week when people said that, yes, we can survive without white people, we don't need white people, we can survive on our own, you have to look at the realities of what is happening on the ground. First of all, I looked at the issue of the tuck shops. The black people in the black communities have actually allowed the Somalis and the Bangladeshis to get into their communities and to push them out of their own businesses. Because right now, if you walk around in the black community, every 3 or 5 houses, there is a tuck shop, and that tuck shop is not owned by black people. And what I really find strange is that we as black people, we didn't even fight to keep this business that has kept us afloat for such a long time. Where is the fighting spirit of the black people? Where is the fighting spirit of black people? How can black people actually allow these people to get into their communities? How can black people actually allow these people to operate inside their communities? And there is no fight for black people. A couple of months ago, you remember that the stories were trending, that children were dying for actually consuming this food that they bought from these Bangladeshis and the Somalis. And what did black people do? Did black people actually get rid of these businesses? No, they didn't. I understand that some communities actually said that no, we are not going to stand for this, and they actually kicked out these businesses. There are communities that have actually took action, but majority of the people are still fine with the fact that these people are still operating inside their communities. So where is the fight? Because again, if you have to look at what is happening inside the black communities, you look at the issue of the taverns, the shebins inside the black communities. There are shebins inside the black communities. There are a lot of shebins inside the black communities. And even on Sundays, late Sunday, where people are actually preparing themselves to go to work, the children are supposed to be doing the homeworks, and you will find these shebins playing music loudly, and we have actually made this thing a norm. We have actually made it a norm to an extent that we don't care that every 2 streets in our own communities you will find a shibin. This is why even in December you will see small children walking around with alcohol, walking around with the cigarettes, because this is the only thing that they can see from their adults in their own communities. There are no sports centers inside the communities. There are no playgrounds inside the black communities, and this is something that we have actually made it a norm. Where is the fight of black people to fight against these things that are destroying our own communities? Why can't we just stand up and say that, guys, enough is enough? When are we going to say that enough is enough? Because it is not normal. It is not normal. Speaking from someone who actually lives in the townships, someone who actually experiences these things in the townships, I can tell you right now that it is not normal that every 2 streets there are shibins. Every 2 streets there are shibins. And we have actually allowed that to happen. We have actually allowed that to happen. You walk around again in the black communities and you will find the dumping sites at every single corner. Every corner you will find a dumping site. The people are dumping there. And sometimes the drugs are coming to actually collect these things. But it seems like we don't even have the urge to wait a bit so that the drugs can come and collect this rubbish. But when it comes to dumping on our own corners, we don't have a problem. And we don't care that where we dump, there are families that live near where we dump, and this rubbish can actually affect the young children that are living in those houses near where we dump. We don't care about that. You walk around many black communities and this is what you will find. This is what we will find. And I look at that and I say, where is our pride as the people? Where is our pride as black people to say that I'm going to keep my rubbish in my own yard and I'm going to wait for the truck to come, and when the truck comes I'm going to take out this rubbish? But no, we are not going to do that. And we don't have a problem dumping near someone's house. Where is our pride? And guys, I don't want to lie, these are things that actually makes me very heartbroken. They make me heartbroken because it's almost as if we have given up. It makes me very heartbroken because it's almost as if we have given up. Right now, you look at the schools in the townships. The children in the townships, they don't even participate in sports. They don't even participate in the debate. They don't even participate in anything. And we are okay with that. We are not even holding the schools accountable to say that how is it possible that the children are not participating in anything? If the kids are not in class, then the kids are at home. This is the reason why today you will see black people working so hard so that they can take their children to the multiracial schools. And I don't want to lie, I'm one of those people. I've actually taken my child to a multiracial school because I'm actually avoiding what is happening in the schools in the townships. And we are okay with that. How is it possible that the parents can be okay with that? Because, guys, let's be honest. For an example, if the public hospitals were fine, they had no problems, they were clean, they actually had staff, and everything was okay, there wouldn't be need for the people to actually have the medical aids so that they can go to the private hospitals. The same thing can be said about the schools. If black parents had actually given a damn about their children's education, they would make sure that they hold the schools accountable to say that we want a better education for our children, to say that we want facilities for our children. And if these schools can actually provide these things that we are talking about, there wouldn't be a need for the people to work hard to take their children to the multiracial schools. But it seems like, again, that the black parents have given up even on their children's education. They've given up on their children's education. And these are things that actually makes me very skeptical about the whole idea of black people doing everything by themselves, because they have made it a norm. Some of the things that they were not even supposed to be made a norm, they have made it a norm. They have made it a norm. I mean, you look even at the way that the black people actually vote. The black people are okay with the treatment that they are getting from the ANC. I remember I said this the other day to say that whether we like it or not, the majority of the people who happen to be poor black people are actually okay with the status quo. Because if they were not okay with the status quo, there is no way that they would vote the way that they are voting. There is absolutely no way that they would be voting with the way that they are voting. Right now, of course, people can go, yeah, the ANC is corrupt and what. But the truth of the matter is, like, the majority of the people, they are absolutely fine with the way things are. They are absolutely fine with the way things are. And I find it very strange that we as the people can actually be okay with these things that are actually happening in our own communities. I find it very strange. I'm sure the ANC is laughing at majority of poor black people in this country. They must be laughing at the majority of the poor people in this country to say that how is it possible that we destroy these people's lives? We don't provide these people with anything. We hate these people basically. And for some reason, the same people continue to vote for us. They continue to vote for us. And don't think that the people are not okay with the fact that the ANC is stealing majority of the people in the townships. They are okay with the fact that the government is stealing from them. They will tell you that, nah, man, these people are working in government, man. They are supposed to be stealing, but they are not even supposed to be stealing that much. They are okay with that. They are okay with the fact that these people are stealing the resources that are supposed to make their lives easy. They are absolutely okay with that. They are absolutely okay with that. Like, that's why I find it very hard to believe that black people alone can actually survive. I find it very hard to believe, because the kind of tolerance and the kind of things that we are tolerating are impossible. They are impossible. My man. What is happening in our own communities, man, it is heartbreaking, man. It is heartbreaking. The fact that someone can actually get injured and the ambulance will actually take 17 hours before they actually arrive at the scene. There's no need for you right now to call the police if someone wants to enter into your home. If you don't have anything to protect yourself with, then you are in deep trouble. Because you can call the police. Don't think that the police are going to arrive immediately. Don't think that the police are going to arrive immediately. We have the useless counselors that you will never find the people complaining about. And these people are completely useless. They are completely useless. And the people don't even complain about. You have the most useless measures. And don't think that the people are going to complain about the fact that these people cannot even do their work. No, the people are not even are not even going to complain about that. That's why every time when I look at black people and some of the things that we have actually allowed to happen, I don't know where is our pride as the people. I don't know where is our respect as the people. I don't know where is our fighting spirit as black people, because I'm sure that our grandmothers and our grandfathers, they didn't die for us to actually live like this. They didn't die for us to live like this. You look at the infrastructure in the black communities, man. I don't even want to talk about the infrastructure. We have actually allowed these people to. We are not even holding the people accountable for the fact that there are sewages spilling in the streets. There are sewages spilling in the streets, and for some reason it is a norm. It is a norm. We are not even fighting. We are not burning the streets. We are not closing the roads and saying that, guys, we want you guys to actually fix this draining system. We are not even doing that. It is a norm. It is fine to see the sewage spilling in your streets. It is fine. They are going to fix it the other day. They are going to fix it the other day. And we have actually allowed these things to actually happen in our own black communities. Whatever that is happening in the black communities, it is a mayhem. What is happening in the black communities? It is absolutely a mayhem. And we are okay with that somehow. We are fine with all of these things that are happening in our streets. And there is no accountability. We know nothing about the accountability. We don't hold the people accountable for anything. But when the politicians come and start raise baiting about the people, about the white people and about the Afrikaners, there we are, fired up, willing to take the arms to fight, but forgetting that these are the same people that have actually allowed us to live in shit. It is sad, man, what is happening in the black communities. It is sad. It is sad, and I don't even want to talk about I don't want to talk about the politicians, because the politicians are garbage. That's why some of us, they fight us. They fight me. When I say that, guys, we have to look at Orania and what the people of Orania are doing so that we can create our own Oranias. They attack me for saying that. They attack me for saying that the black community needs to study from whatever that is happening in Orania so that they can build their own Oranias. And guess what the politicians are saying in the response of that? That no, we need to go to Orania and build shacks inside of Orania. This is the response of the politicians when we say that we as black people, we need to look at whatever that is happening in Orania and build our own Oranias, because the people of Orania, they are very smart. They've actually realized that there's nothing that the politicians can actually do for you. There's nothing that the politicians can do for you. So they actually stood up and rolled their sleeves. You see the sign of Orania. The sign of Orania is someone actually rolling their sleeves. What does it mean? Getting to work? Getting to work. Right now, Orania, 100%. There are people that they are not people that are roaming around in Orania. Zero unemployment rate. You look at their infrastructure is tops. And when they have the problems, they know that they have the people inside the communities that can actually deal with those problems. Just like we in the townships, there are people that can actually fix the plumbing. There are people that knows about the plumbing. There are people that knows about the electricity. There are people that actually knows about most of the problems that we are facing in the community. There are people that are actually absolutely aware of that, and they can fix all of those things. But we are not getting these people to work. We are not getting these people to work. I remember the other day when we had the drainage system, my house it has a mine hall, and two other houses in like separate streets. They have the mine halls, and one of the mine halls was actually blocked, and we didn't even call the municipalities. There is an older brother that side, and that guy is quite knowledgeable about these things of unblocking these things. That guy, he only hired like 2 or 3 people, and they unblocked all of those things by themselves. There was no need for us to actually call the municipality to say that no, our mine halls have actually blocked. Can you come? Because we know that these people are going to take forever to come. But we just had to pay that person, and after paying that person, they unblocked all of those things, and there was no water spilling around in the streets anymore. There are a lot of people that can actually do these things that we want to happen, but man, it is a mess, man. It is a mess. It is a mess. It is a mess that I don't even know when are we even going to start to fix this mess that I'm talking about. I honestly don't know.
Take responsibility as black men. Stop this thing. White people did this to us. Indians did this to us. Amakhaladi asenzeni, abelungu basenzeni, iboss yami abafuna ukunginika increase. Ngiyatoyitoya. I'm burning. When are you building?
Can I give you a perspective?
You know that we are so useless as the black nation. The one thing we are very good at is destroying perfectly working things. Perfectly functioning things will come and destroy it. But even with that, we should have used destruction as a strength and said, let's build bombs. I need to be at destroyers. We can't even build a bomb. There's no bomb.
I can build bombs, actually, but I'll tell you why.
Don't build bombs.
No, I used to make bombs as a kid, but
it's like how we threw petrol bombs, right?
No,
But that's
we
exactly...
used to make landmines.
But that's exactly my point.
Yeah.
That as the black nation, we need to take ourselves seriously. We can't be known for destroying everything. You know, in America, what was that guy called? The one who was
planning to chase all the white people away when I was a kid.
Was trampled there? What was his name in
George
America?
Floyd.
Do you know how much infrastructure destruction they brought to the States?
I know, I saw that. The Black Lives Matter.
And to this date, even in America, let me tell you the failure of black people. And it is a failure of Africans. Go to America and go to every city and town that has a mayor who is black. And go and look at the condition of that city.
It's messed up. Eric Adams.
Stop saying...
Eric Adams came out with a dustbin. You know those dustbins that we got in South Africa, like maybe in year 2000, those ones?
No, dustbin guys.
No, I know. He brought them out in New York in 2023. I couldn't believe
so
it.
everywhere.
I was like,
everywhere. And here's the important thing, because you laugh when you're supposed to become serious.
Actually, I shouldn't be laughing at that. He's a black man.
Even more. Everywhere where a black person has been in charge, Hendrik Verwoerd said it, and many white people have said it. And you call them racist because they're pointing out a fact. They're pointing out an algorithm. You must be able to identify a trend. Say, but this is a trend. Okay, after acknowledging it's a trend, is it a positive trend? Is it a negative trend? That's how you develop and you change and you innovate. Everywhere a black person takes over an administration, a governance, a company, anything, you can look at all the BE companies where that were majority black run, right? Look at Itala Bank, look at VBS, look at the entire government, look at all municipalities, look at all provincial governments. You destroy. You destroy, you plunder, you steal, and you even romanticize the stealing. I'll never ever. Akekho umuntu ozongi-intimidate mina la emhlabeni ngeqiniso. Go to America and look at every municipality that is run by a black person. It's trash. It has been trash. Look at when the black people first took it over. What did it look like? Forget the race relations. Forget whether there was a right-winger, a Hitler. Forget. Look at the condition of that infrastructure. Look at the joblessness or the employment status in relation to the population numbers at the time, because you must look at ratios. Don't say, people always say when I tell them, like in 94, the unemployment rate in South Africa was below 10%. You can't relate to that. It's like an unheard of thing. It's like you're lying. In the township,
That's less than half
in the
of
township,
the American
I only
unemployment
make this
rates.
example. In the township, townships were quiet during the day.
Actually, I can relate to that. Can I tell you why? Because my mother went on maternity leave, which means getting fired back in the days when she went on maternity leave.
Which year was that?
1990, when I was born.
No. Black women had full maternity rights.
No, my mother didn't. Okay.
No,
Well, she told me she didn't.
no. Stop that. I don't know why your mother got fired. I'm really sorry your mother got
No,
fired.
she got another job right after.
Mamela, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, but she
No. This is part of the disease.
Okay.
This is part of the disease. In 1990, black women had full maternity rights. Don't confuse, what was it called? The career progression reservation and the separate economic development with whether or not there were certain rights.
Well, that's what my mother told
during
me.
the time before 1983, 82, I think, when all women couldn't buy property, it wasn't just black women. White women had to be married in order to own an asset. It became a crisis of capitalism when a family has only girl children. And they can only leave it to their girl children.
I think
Then the crisis came. What must we do?
Only in the
Now
70s
they must
women could have bank accounts,
Now
right?
they must find a grandfather, an uncle, which aba own the inheritance through them. Abhatalele yo tax, akafuna ukubhadala tax toxic talky. Ufuna ukuthi tax ikhishwe yilaba abareshine because they are women. So the genderized. So there's one thing that I give white, the old school feminists who were, let me call them womanists, because I'm not a feminist, I'm a womanist. There's a very big difference.
I'm a womanist
and
too.
I've always been a womanist. I've never ever
Same
hated
here.
men. Everywhere I have worked, you are the only people that, from what are you telling me, on social media that I hear call me angry. Mina, everywhere I've worked and being active in,
They call me crazy,
even in
don't
school,
worry.
I've led in school, like, mina ngalida ngisesemncane, bengile abantwana labo.
boy prefect.
Utishara makaphume eklasini athi take over. Yabo?
Yeah.
So even Mandisa actually says something that is very profound. The fact that we are even romanticizing with this thing of crime. We are not serious about the issue of crime. Like, guys, thinking about all of these things, it is sad, man. It is sad. It is sad. And when I say that black people have actually destroyed this country with the way that they are voting, some people are looking at me weirdly to say that, no, Thomas, what the hell are you talking about? You remember there's a video that I actually did the other day where I was speaking about the black people have actually destroyed this country with the ANC. Because the people that voted for the ANC for the past 30 years, it's not like they could not see what the ANC was doing all of this time. It's not like that. They could see properly what the ANC was doing all of that time. Not providing the people with the services, stealing from the people, arrogant ANC ministers. They could see all of those things, but they continue to vote for the ANC. And today, the country is in deep trouble. And when we say that these people they should be held accountable for the way that they have voted, they said, no, you cannot hold us accountable for the way that we have voted, despite the fact that we are the ones that have actually kept the criminals in high positions of power. You cannot hold us accountable for that. You cannot hold us accountable for that. But truth of the matter is that black people are the ones that are responsible for where the country it is today. Whether they like it or not, it is the truth. The people that have kept the ANC in power for the past 30 years, they are the ones that are responsible for where the country it is today, because they were the majority for the longest of times. But they will never account to that. They will never account. They would rather die instead of accounting. So I don't know, man, what is wrong with my people. And I hope that other people, they don't take this as an attack on black people, but they just take this as me just generally being concerned about how black people have been moving. I've been very aware of how black people have been moving. I've been very aware. and I hope that they don't take this as an attack. Guys, please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye bye.